Welcome everybody. Welcome in the room. Hey Bobby Slow. We're gonna be in the kitchen today. How's everybody doing? Welcome everybody. So today I have a special guest. Somebody in the kitchen with me today, and as you can see with the title, Real Men Bake. So I want to introduce my husband, my friend, Rambo.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it. I love coming on here.
Let's see.
Real Men Bake. Okay.
Hold on. What we're not going to do is have any negativity in the room. What time is it here?
It's 4:08.
Okay, it's 4. Yeah, I'm just playing. Yeah, today, before we get started, can you put him down? Because I know that's what he wants. And teach him how to come down. Did you know how to come down? Feet first. Feet first. Good job. Today, it's pausing. Okay. Let me know if you can hear us. Okay, let me know. Press 1 if you can hear us. Because we are in the kitchen, so sometimes, well, we're in the house, sometimes the connection's not that good. Hold on. See, I knew it was going to trigger people. Okay. So before we get started in the kitchen, today has been a very rainy day. Today, because me and Rambo said we were going to have all these things to do today, but it has really been raining today. And so my intuition has just been telling me, you know what, today just relax. Sometimes we get upset with the rain, man, it's raining outside and I hate that it's raining, but sometimes it needs to rain, because what happens when it rains? We stay inside. So if you're always outside and handling things and moving and going, you're not taking the time to really take care of yourself, really cleanse, really take care of your space, go within. And of course, y'all, I promise you, Zen was not in the kitchen. And now that I'm in here live, now here he comes. He was sitting down the whole time playing, and now he's in here banging on the stove all right, Zen, we know you are here. He's so funny. So I can't compete with him. I can't. So that's what I've been doing today. Just been resting. Me and Zen has been resting, been taking time with him, nurturing myself. And that's what you should do on these type of days, is just take care of yourself. That's what the rain is here to remind us, is to take care of ourselves, because water is feminine energy. So do whatever you can to tap into that part of yourself. Whether you're a man or a woman, you still need to take care of yourself. You still need to take care of yourself and nurture yourself, because when the sun is out, what is the one thing you want to do? You want to go out, you want to shine, you want to move, and you want to go. But then when the water comes, when the rain comes, you come inside. You want to get away from everything and just, recluse and take care of yourself. But then when the darkness comes, what happens? We go to bed, which means we restore ourselves. So every part of nature, every aspect in our life is here to show us something. And so today, that's what we've been doing today, is taking care of ourselves. So I thought it would be a beautiful thing today to be in the kitchen and do something that we both love. And Rambo and I have been enjoying these brownies, okay? But Rambo's actually been making the brownies, and so I wanted to bring him in here with me and show you guys how we make brownies. Y'all, Zen is okay, hold on. Let's be real. Zen is distracted me because the whole time he was quiet, and now he is making all of this noise. Okay, come on, man. Come on.
You gotta learn to focus.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right.
Because this is life. This is real life. Like,
this
children
is real life.
make noise, and they're not gonna care about what's going on. But you gotta be able to talk through that and to work through that. Damn, they just see me dancing now. See, now y'all starting to see, like, the real Rambo. Like, like, Rambo is a lot of fun, and he be cracking me up. And, like, he's starting to, like, you know, come out of his shell, and he didn't even know he was dancing in front of y'all, so. What was you doing? Show us the moves again. No, I'm gonna do this now.
Okay. Before we get started, let's talk about the title, Real Men Bake. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel when you hear real men bake, or when you hear that most men or some men don't know how to cook? Like, what does that mean for you?
I think that title can be equally replaced with real women bake. Like, I think just real people like should learn how to prepare food. You know, I think that's important because that is super distracting.
I told you.
Like, he definitely knows what to do to distract you. But I think just, you know, in general, like, if you're a human being, like, you got to know how to prepare food, you know, just in general. And when I got into diet, like, I started preparing all of my own food, like salads and stuff when I was raw vegan. So, and I did, like, a lot of raw treats and stuff like that. So now it's just more of that with different foods, you know. And I enjoy like preparing stuff from scratch because I get to know exactly what is in it, and I get to give that to myself and to my family and the people around me, and just give them nutritious stuff. Like, I always enjoyed preparing like salads for people when I was raw. Like, my friends, we always make big salads, and I would make like raw treats, and it was always the best ingredients, you know. And that's kind of impossible to find. Like, even if you go to a health food store, they're probably not going to use the best ingredients. They'll probably use some organic here and there, but to get the best quality ingredients in your foods, you need to be preparing them yourself, you know. And so that's why I enjoy preparing food, because I'm nourishing my body with the best food. No, because there's your phone's dying.
Oh, it is.
It's probably. I don't even know if it's charging now.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Okay.
But it doesn't show on mine does.
Yeah, and so especially with this battle between the sexes, what's masculine and what is real femininity, but I really think the way consciousness is moving is the balance between both of us. And the reason why I wanted to put this message out here today was because most people are single today. Everybody's not getting married. Everybody's not in a relationship. And a lot of times when you do get into a relationship, it's later on in life, like around your 20s and your 30s, like a solid committed relationship. So we can't continue to stay in the olden times to where you go out there, you get a wife, you get a husband, you get married, you have children. It's not like that anymore. So if a lot of us are single, especially men, if you're single and you're in your 20s or 30s, how are you taking care of yourself? And this question's for women too, but because we said real men bake, you know, we're putting a message out here. Like, how are you taking care of yourself? Are you waiting on that woman to cook for you, to clean for you? Because I feel like this is 2020, 2019. If you don't know how to cook for yourself, clean for yourself, take care of yourself, what are you doing? Like, what are you bringing to the table? Like, and I don't think it should be a feminine thing or a masculine thing as far as the different roles. Now, I will say there are certain things that a masculine and feminine just automatically have because of the structure of our bodies, but we're talking beyond that. Yeah. Like, so when I hear women, when they be like, oh, I don't know how to cook and I'm proud of it, I'm like, boo, how are you taking care of yourself, boo? Are you going to McDonald's every day? Like, and then if you don't know how to clean, like, then how's your space? You know?
Yeah. I want to say, I know the Samoans in Samoan culture, like, only the men are allowed to prepare the food.
Really?
Yeah, so the men make the pit, and then they prepare all the food, you know, whatever, if it's fish or if it's pig or whatever it is, but they take care of all the preparations for the food. So, you know, it's definitely like not this or that. It's just being aware of your environment, you know, and so the environment that a lot of us are in or come from is an environment where it's kind of more independent. But the way I look at it is not independent necessarily, but self-sufficient, because I think everybody, and if you have a tribe, and the way I imagine a tribe is like the better people are suited to take care of themselves, the better that tribe is suited, because the more you can take care of yourself, the less you rely on others, and so you kind of take stress off of that and you add value to the tribe. So like if one person is out, like if you only have one cook in your tribe, you know, and that person falls ill or is sick or something, then you screwed, you know. But if everybody knows how to cook, like or knows how to prepare food, that's a fundamental thing that could help the community. So I think that's important to a skill to have, you know, and it's just so easy, especially with YouTube and everything. Like, just be familiar with how to prepare food, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and so. And somebody was like, their brother can really cook their asses off.
Yeah.
And that's what I found, that men that can cook, they really can cook. But I just want to put that message out here today for the young men that watch me. If you want to bring the attention of a young lady, start cooking, learning how to cook, because I'm telling you, just like as a woman, as we learn to cook, you know, to impress the man, a man can also do that as well. And also women, with you being self-sufficient and knowing how to take care of yourself and knowing how to respond to your emotions and being balanced in that, that's also attractive too. Because even with the relationship with me and Rambo, I'm learning how to do more things on my own too, and I'm very thankful for this relationship. Instead of him wanting me to depend on him, okay. Instead of him wanting me to always depend on him, he wants to make sure that I know how to take care of myself, just in case something might happen, you know. And so it's also a relief, especially with having a baby, that Rambo can also help me out, you know, with the household chores and knowing how to cook and knowing how to cook delicious, healthy foods, you know. So it's just a well-balanced relationship. And that's the message we want to put out today, is within staying balanced. It's being balanced within yourself and then bringing that balance in the relationship. Do you want to say something, Sam? Yes, because you've been noisy the whole time. All right, so we're about to make these brownies. Can we make these brownies? We can make these brownies? Okay. All right. Okay. He just wanted some attention. He's never done that before. Where he's like bringing everything and banging it on the stove.
So these brownies, they're pretty simple. The recipe is, it was like a keto recipe, like a paleo recipe. So the ingredients are pretty simple. It called for coconut flour, but I use spelt flour. So spelt is a grain that's non-hybridized. It's one of the, you know, few grains that's, you know, more or less in its original form. So it's a good grain to use and for flour and stuff. And we're gonna use coconut oil. It's only a couple of ingredients really. Coconut oil, and I melted it so that it could be in liquid form, so it could better mix in with the batter. And then I got some honey. See, this recipe, we don't even use sugar really. We only use honey. This is the only sweetener that we really use. We don't use agave nectar or nothing like that. The only sweetener that we use is local. This is all local honey. So this is a big ass 64 ounce jar of honey, but it's local. It's raw, unheated, unfiltered, pure Hawaiian honey.
And the reason why we use honey, because I know a lot of people don't use honey because of what they do to the bees. But here on this island, they actually respect and protect their bees. And so that's the reason why we use the honey here. But I wouldn't highly recommend it for others where you are to use honey unless you know the integrity of that company that is promoting their honey.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to look into where you're getting your honey, because honey production could either be beneficial to the honeys or it could be detrimental, because a lot of the honey that is made, like if the one that's made here, like they actually cultivate and nurture the bees and they grow the population of the bees, and because they need the bees to be in business, right? So it's in their best interest to keep the population up. But other places, I know GMOs and pesticides and stuff affect the bees' life, but I think that supporting local bee keepers, and we know like a local beekeeper, and they're doing stuff to help the bees because they need the bees to produce the honey, and in return, they give the honeys a place to, they give them nutrition, and they give them a place to collect that honey. So we sweeten it with honey. We got some eggs. We're using 3 large local eggs. These are free-range eggs. The chickens are fed like papaya and fruits and vegetables and stuff, and local like scraps and stuff. We're using some raw organic cacao powder. This is basically cacao dried up, and they separate it from the fat. So I don't know if you know this, but this is the fat. This is the cacao butter. You can get actually a fat from the cacao bean, but when you separate it and you dry it, this is the powder, this is the fat removed from the powder. But if you have both the powder and the butter, that's called cacao paste. But these 2 separate things is cacao butter and the powder. But we're only using the powder today. And we got some chocolate chips and some walnuts.
Now, is this, I know it's got eggs, but is this dairy free, like milk free?
Yeah, it's dairy free.
Okay, so if anybody is like lactose intolerant.
Yeah, we're not using dairy in this.
Okay, so if anybody's like, okay, cool. We just gotta make sure we put that out there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
And this one's super.
Did you already skip in this one?
Nah. This is an added. You don't gotta put this in there, but I like to use organic vanilla extract. This is just super expensive. Because vanilla, is not hard to. It's hard to make or grow. What were you gonna say?
But let me tell you guys. These brownies are so addictive and they're so good. Like Rambo and I, we've been going crazy over these brownies. Like he will make them like every other day because they're so good. And you see that they're very simple to make. And I will say that make sure your vibration is high. Don't be eating this type of stuff when you're depressed and feeling bad. Because you know how you can overindulge sometimes, but your vibration is low. But for us, we make sure that we are happy and thriving. Like, let's eat some brownies.
And then we kill the whole brownie.
Yeah, tray. And then we kill the whole brownie. I love these brownies. And it took you a little bit to find the recipe that worked.
Yeah, I was doing a different recipe, but I like this recipe because for one, it uses honey, and that's my sweetener of choice, a local sweetener. And then it's just very simple ingredients, not too many ingredients, and it comes out real good. So, and it's super simple. I use a 1/2 cup and a 1/4 cup. The 1/2 cup is a 1/2 cup of coconut oil, 1/2 cup of the flour, 1/2 cup of the chocolate chips, and 1/2 cup of the walnuts, and a 1/4 cup is for the cacao powder. So it's super simple, right? So let's get it started. I already got the oven going. It's preheated to 350 degrees. So here goes 1/2 cup of spelt flour, and then I'm gonna throw the salt in there, Himalayan salt. But I recommend either Himalayan salt or like a sea salt. Icelandic sea salt is really good as well. This is a 1/4 teaspoon that we're going to use. So about that much. So get a sea salt. Just it has minerals in it. It's not too refined. And I'll just whisk that a little bit. And then I'm going to add the powder. I'm not adding the dry stuff first, and then I'll add the wet stuff afterwards. So a 1/4 cup of the cacao powder is what we're doing next. This is like just, definitely over buying stuff. You work to get it, that's the thing I like about preparing your own food, harvesting your own food, growing your own food. I think the closer you get to the source of you doing it, the better off you're going to be, and the better you're going to digest that food, the better your body's going to take that food, because it's like you have more intimate relationship with the whole process. But if you just go through a drive-through and pick up a burger, you don't know who made it, whose energy's on that, what they put in there, what the process is. It's just so many factors that you're oblivious to. But if you just get like raw ingredients like this, and especially if you grow your own food and harvest it from the environment, then you know exactly what's in it, and you know, and then you could feel good about it, and your body, I feel like, is just more receptive to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. I have the coconut oil now. Hopefully we got enough for half a cup.
So you added all the dry ingredients. I know I'm coming in and out, but you know why.
So
let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk.
So what I do for the coconut oil when it's still like at room temperature, I'll heat it up on this skillet. I'll just put this on top of the skillet, and that'll usually melt it, and then I use it from there. But yeah, actually I am sipping a local wine as well. This is, look at this, it's called Cacao Moon. It's from Hawaii, and it's a macadamia nut honey wine infused with cacao and vanilla. So if you want to, you know, tap into some, you know, something local that you could, you know, relax with, that's something that you could drink here. It's a local wine. It's got some interesting flavor, I'll say that. Yeah, are you gonna put the recipe anywhere? Like, I think it'll be too long to put on here, huh? Like as a pin, the recipe. But it's really simple. Half a cup of wheat flour, or not wheat flour, spelt flour. Half a cup of coconut oil. Half a cup of honey. Half a cup of walnuts. Half a cup of chocolate chips, and a quarter cup of cacao powder, and 3 eggs, 3 large eggs. That's it, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. And you can add a vanilla extract if you want, but that's not necessary. And preheat the oven to 350, and this is what I use.
It's hot.
I got a square baking pan, and I just lined it with some parchment paper that I recycled from earlier because we made some.
You cannot have that, Zen.
We made some biscuits.
He made some biscuits.
Yeah, I made some biscuits earlier. These are spelt biscuits. So. Alright. Let's see how this coconut oil is doing. I think we got a little more in there. But yeah, always, you know, I think for me, the one key thing that I always focus on is the principles of food. Not so much like you eat vegan or you carnivore, you eat this or you do that, but what are the principles around the food that you do eat? Like, is it organic? Is it, you know, pesticide free? Is it, you know, how is it, you know, harvested, and how is it grown? Like, if you take that with you, and if you eat food that's minimally processed or you process it yourself, like, I think the principles will take you farther than the actual diet, because I think I've been successful in every diet that I've done, not because that diet works for everybody, but because the principles work. If you take those principles with you, it doesn't matter what diet that you're eating, because you're always going to select the highest, most purest ingredients, and you're always going to eat better. You're always going to be in tune with your body. So certain principles that you want to develop and take with you, and if you want to play around with any of these diets, you can, but you're always going to be using the best ingredients, so your body's always going to be thanking you for that. So that's one thing I think about. I don't like to, you know, preach about any particular diet, but just more about the principles around the ingredients that you do choose to use. So here we go. We're putting in half a cup of coconut oil, and then I like to follow it up with the honey because it's coated with the oil, so the honey will come off of there easy. So we got half a cup of honey. Ooh.
Too much?
That was good. It fell into the bowl.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Half a cup of honey. But yeah, like, I think, you know, if you're a man and you want to learn how to prepare food, like, I think that's really beneficial. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the women, nowadays, they're just not being, raised with that skill. But at the same time, there's other cultures around the world that didn't rely on the women to prepare the food. That's just certain cultures. So I just look at it, every human should be understanding how to prepare food, because we got to be strong for each other. We all got to be smart for each other and have skills for each other, because the more strong we are as individuals, that makes the collective tribe stronger.
I agree.
So I'm going to put the eggs in there. So it's a lot of other stuff in there, like when it comes to concepts like this regarding the sexes, it could turn real combative real quick, but it's not about fighting each other, it's about building with each other and learning to help one another with whatever we have to offer.
Yeah. Especially if you're not a part of the community, to where you have multiple people that can help you with the children, with the household work, with anything. If it's just you and your partner, it's like you got to put your egos aside, what's masculine, what's feminine, and work together, to build something together.
Yeah, and it's like we coming from a whole mixed up culture, really. Like if you two people find each other, it's a good chance that they come from, even if they're the same race or ethnicity, like they do things different ways, because we come from such vast different places in the world that, your parents might have done something different than the parents of the person you're with. So like they probably develop certain skills that you don't have. So you just got to learn to use what you did get taught and what you did grow up with to help the person that you're with or the people that you're around.
Yeah.
But I think always be trying to learn new stuff. Like always learn new skills, different things that you could use to help, your situation. Because when you helping yourself, you're helping others.
Yeah.
So this is the batter, and then we're gonna throw the walnuts into here and the chocolate chips into here, and then that's pretty much it. I'll put a little bit of vanilla extract, just a drop in there.
Now, when you use macadamia oil, that changed the consistency, because you don't all have to use the coconut oil. Like, say if you don't have it, but we used another oil. You want to tell me what happened with that?
Yeah, so the other day we made this recipe with macadamia nut oil, and it was interesting because the macadamia nut oil, it must have been a different density or something, because it kind of separated the chocolate chips and the rest of the brownie. So the chocolate chips sunk to the bottom and they melted all on the bottom, which I kind of enjoyed that. I liked it.
Yeah.
And the macadamia nut just has a really rich flavor to it. But it was different than the coconut oil, because the coconut oil is a saturated fat, so it's a different type of fat. But we like coconut oil. Like we use it for baking, for cooking, for pretty much everything. And
for our skin.
For our skin. Yeah, and that's something that we can make here at the house. So I like those type of oils that are just easier to prepare rather than like the seed oils and stuff that it's just thinking about it, like it's just harder for somebody regular to produce. So I realize that it's not as realistic, therefore it's not something that's sustainable as easily as a coconut oil is. Alright, so I'm just gonna break up the walnuts before I throw them in there, just to make sure they're like good sized chunks.
Let me get this I can. But I was trying to do the comments, but that ain't happening. Okay. Oh, I am said, are the eggs fresh where you don't have to refrigerate them? The eggs that we have are not fresh, because we bought them refrigerated, but there are places that we went to.
I mean, they are fresh, like the place where we get them from. Yeah. They're replenished like every 3 days.
Well, no, we're talking about where you don't have to refrigerate them, but we bought them refrigerated, so I don't think we could leave them out once we bought them in the refrigerated. What you think?
I think you could. I think it's just refrigeration. Like we just do it because because of the health code and stuff, and the government wants to make sure. But you know, certain parts of the world, they don't refrigerate their eggs. Like, but
no, I'm saying like once they're refrigerated and we bring them home, can we still leave them out, or once they're refrigerated, they have to stay refrigerated?
Yeah. See, I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Like to me, like that wouldn't matter, but it's just I think that we're so germ phobic, and you know, in this society that we don't really know or understand like what we can or can't do when it comes to food. Sometimes we just do stuff because that's the common practice, but doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it that way.
Exactly. But you have bought eggs here that they weren't refrigerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, like if we go to the farmer's market and like a farmer has like, you know, eggs that they picked up that morning from their chickens, and you know those are not refrigerated yet.
Oh, somebody said how much did that jug of honey cost? This was like actually cheaper than what it was like $30 for this big jar of honey.
It's half a gallon.
It's half a gallon, but we've been places to where for a small jar, like a small jar of honey for this is like $10, you know. But this was somebody left this here. But yeah, so we was like, this is a good price. So even though we don't use that much honey, but honey lasts a long time. We was like, let's just get the big jar and we'll always like have honey. Oh, you gotta show them that. I wish we could bring the camera down so y'all could see what he's doing. Okay, there you go. Can you see? No, I can see it. Yeah. I know.
You gotta fucking push it off the edge.
Okay.
Alright, so you get the idea.
Yeah, we get the idea.
Yeah, so you just mix it up, and that's pretty much it.
That looks really good. Yeah, usually when I'm in the kitchen by myself, you know, I have my space, but you don't realize how small this kitchen is until there's another person in here. So before, hey, let's do it like this. I want them to see this ooey gooiness. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. You could just eat it like this. You could just eat it like this. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, it smells so good. It smells like pure chocolate. Get away from the door, please. Thank you.
So just mix it up, and I'm just about to pour it in there.
Yeah, I can put the light one on.
I'll put this one on. The battery pack part there.
Oh, yeah. Here's another one. Yummers! That looks so good. If you had some ice cream and that's perfect actually. If you had some ice cream, you can pour this over the ice cream. Look at it, it's so good. Cause it's got like the chocolate, the nuts, and the chocolate chips. Turn this light so they can see it.
It's hard to pour.
We are just winging it today. But we wanted y'all to be in the kitchen with us, so this is real. Not scripted. Look at that. Mm-mm. Do you need something else?
No, it's just that this angle is weird. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Let me see using my left hand. Now you just got to entertain them for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we can go back and look at the comments since we wasn't able to look at the comments. But even if we don't stay on live all the way through, we'll most definitely take pictures and post the brownies and the recipe. Yummers. So we put in this pan.
Set timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
20 to 25, depending on how moist you want it.
Because you said once the time is up, you have to put a fork in it, and if it's nothing sticking on the fork, then you know it's ready.
Yep.
All right. Y'all see Zen? Look at him.
So happy to see him walking.
Oh yeah.
I know. I just realized they probably don't see him walking like that every day.
Somebody said, "I know what you could do with that excess chocolate. You better stop it." Somebody said definitely a YouTube cooking channel. Yeah, I know it would be fun. But like a real life cooking show to where it's like you got your kids in the background, like this is real. It's not like all scripted and beautiful. So where everything just works out perfectly. No, when you have babies, it's like it's unpredictable. You just never know. Yes, that is parchment paper in the dish. We use the parchment paper because we don't want it to stick to the pan. Yeah. Now I'm just looking at y'all's comments. Somebody said Rainbow's kind of sexy. I always thought so too.
Rainbow kind of sexy.
Somebody said, "Where are you from, Rainbow?"
I'm originally from Southern California.
Southern California.
Hmm. I like to clean up, so before I even touch the food, all the dishes are already clean.
Oh yeah, that's my motto. You cooking too, Zee? You cooking too? He had his little spoon too. You cooking, Daddy? You cooking? Oh yeah, you just want to know. But I want to investigate what's going on there. There ain't doing nothing but cooking. That's the camera, look. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Sometimes he do this. He'll wave. Say yeah. Yeah. You know you didn't watch? Yeah. Clap your hands. Yeah. Everybody clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. No, not today? Okay. Yay! Yeah! Not today. You're not performing today. Well, you were just performing a few minutes ago. What you got in your mouth? Oh, your finger. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. You see? You see? They say you got beautiful eyes. They say you got beautiful eyes. Okay, put you down. Go see what Daddy's doing. Come on. Go see what Daddy's doing. Come on. Okay, come on. Alright, I was going to take this and make a mess. Yeah, so today, let me show y'all. We have our little lights up. But today it's rainy. Just a rainy day. Oh, Zen is 13 months. Just a rainy day in the tropics. Yeah, it's been raining. I mean, it rains all the time, but then sometimes it rains and it stops raining. But no, it rained all day. And then we have the lights for the guests because it gets dark here. But it's just been raining. Oh, thank you, Chill. But now it's finally calmed down. But yeah, we was going to go out today, and it was just ridiculous. So, last night Zen decided he didn't really want to stay asleep. So he had me up all through the night. And so today him and I just took a nap together, took 2 naps together, just relax. I said sometimes you just need that. Because even though you might plan to be doing something else, you know, life gives you another plan. So we just relaxed today. We just relaxed today. Yes. They're watching you. They're watching you too. They're watching you. Did you poop up? Because I can smell it. They're watching you. Yeah. Yeah, so we just been relaxing and just, you know, taking care of the home and, you know, restoring and having fun, you know. We wanted to share that with y'all today. Not everything has to be serious. Not everything has to be teaching. Just, you know, let y'all into our home. You said, do I want more kids? Not right now. You know, but I could see having one more. I could see that. You know, Rambo wants more children, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tell him, Zen. Tell him, Zen. Natural Perfect said, do you guys let him watch any children's videos? Yeah, he loves music. He likes, so any children's shows we let him watch, they're singing at the whole, like you sometimes we'll have the TV on because we always have YouTube up, but I didn't want to have it on because, you know, we were live and I didn't want to break any YouTube laws or whatever. So that's the reason why he was really like up under us and stuff. But I don't really like using the TV as a crutch because, you know, we're parents and so he wants our attention. We can't always just put him in front of the TV because we have stuff to do. And so just like Rambo said, that we have to learn how to focus regardless if he's making all kind of noise and, you know, and just wanting that attention. We still have to learn how to work through it. You know, I don't like to just turn the TV on and be like, here, sit in front of the TV. I don't like doing that. But every once in a while, I might have to do that, especially if I have to clean the houses or I have stuff to do that needs to get done. And the TV is, well, the reason why I say TV because we don't have cable. We connect the computer to it. So we can either put it in front of the computer. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. But we are getting very mindful of how much we are using that as a crutch because at the end of the day, we're still here to be his parents and give him the attention that he needs. And a lot of times, Zen, for the most part, he be playing by himself. So that's why it was funny to me that when me and Rambo, you know the reason why he was like that because me and Rambo was in there together. And anytime he see me and Rambo like hugging and kissing or playing, he be minding his own business. But as soon as he see us together, here he come wanting to be a part of it. And so I think that's what it was about, was he saw us together and he wanted to be a part of it. So, you know, so that's why I wasn't really in the kitchen with Rambo because I knew that Zen was not going to let up. So, yeah. Oh, you said Gullah Gullah Island on YouTube? Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with letting children watch cartoons. You just got to be careful with what you let them watch. But he loves music. Zen loves music. He don't even like cartoons. His favorite music artist is Kim. He loves jazz. He likes Bruno Mars. Like, he likes instruments and stuff. So yeah. But I'll look up Gullah Gullah Island. Yeah, Zen, Cookie 41 said, will you try Zen with a bottle? Maybe it was, we actually have a bottle for Zen. We have a glass bottle for Zen, and like we'll put like coconut water or like fruit juice or regular water in it when he needs to get more fluids in him. And he actually likes the bottle, but sometimes he might hold it, but for the most part, he likes for me to hold it. But he likes drinking out of a glass, but I still have to hold it. Yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Okay. Oh, happy solstice to you. Is it the winter solstice? Yes, self-care. That has been my motto lately, is self-care, DC by the sea. Do we have hurricanes here? The other night it sounded like a hurricane, but I know it wasn't.
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes there's hurricanes. Oh, thank you to Crime Spawn. Yeah. Just looking at y'all's comments. Yep, so if y'all don't have any more questions, we about to go. Yeah, we about to go. We about to go and enjoy the rest of our day. Yeah. I'm thankful for Immortal Savage Beauty. I'm thankful to Mika. Yeah. Yeah, we usually have music on, but I didn't know if I was going to put this on YouTube, so I didn't want to get anything to be docked for. Lord, girl, yes, he right here breastfeeding right now. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll send you a brownie, Kamika. Yeah, we'll post a picture of the brownies and the recipe. I'm telling you, they're so good, and you see that it did not have a lot of ingredients in them, and they're so. Me and Rambo are like addicted to these brownies because they're just so good, and I just love. Well, I don't really care for baking, but when I do bake or if I cook, you guys know how I cook. I like to cook homemade. Like homemade is like the best way to go. Yeah, and I want to also teach Zen how to cook too. I'm gonna teach you how to cook. I'm gonna teach you how to cook. I'm gonna teach you how to cook, little buddies. You waving bye-bye? You waving bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You waving? Yeah. 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 Good job. Yay. Good job, little buddy. Good job, little buddy. Good job. Good job, little buddy. There he goes. Being destructive. Yeah, being destructive. Y'all see his little lock behind? I think he got like one little lock. Oh, get your drink, Rambo. Yeah, it's like, what time is it? 5 o'clock over.
4:54.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're watching you, Zen. Yeah. So now he just walks. Sometimes he crawls. Yeah. So you see. So now he's all relaxed. He ain't paying us no attention. But as soon as we remember to go back into that kitchen, you know he would be right in there with us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to go. Y'all don't have any more questions. Oh, it's 9:54 p.m. there. Okay. And just to let you guys know, because I know there has been a lot of changes and stuff, I still do chart readings and help people with astrology. So if any of you guys want to get your chart read or anything to that nature, get any help, anything else, hit me up. I still do sessions. And Rambo, he also does the graphic designs. He still does the graphic designs. Nothing has changed. Now we're just being more specific about our life and being more balanced, and now we're bringing more structure in our life, because at one point Rambo and I really didn't know what we wanted or what that looks like, and so now we're I just say that we're just more clear about what we want, and so we're still here to be of service in any way that we can. And like I said, Rambo's really good at graphic designs. If y'all have a YouTube channel or anything social media, Rambo's really good at making your vision come to life. Like, I'm so thankful to have him, in my life, because he helps me with that as well. But like I said, if y'all have any questions about astrology, about your chart, about just how to remember who you are, reach out to me. I am here, okay? And I will talk to you later. You have anything to say, Rambo? Mm-hmm. They're looking at you.
I mean, like you said, the recipe will be up. If you guys want to try these brownies, and I think we're just gonna try to connect more with people and go live more. Mm-hmm. And we just did a video yesterday about the 5 food kingdoms. So that's up on my channel, and it's going to be up on her channel soon. So if you want to learn about food and a different way to look at food, you know, rather than just plants or just animals, but it's just like a holistic view of the world, the way it traditionally has been viewed, is all these kingdoms, you know, and the elements, you know, they all play a role in your health, and the more you embrace that, the more you're going to just feel in tune with nature, and your body is going to respond the way naturally is supposed to respond, and you're going to just come to that point of balance within your own self. So yeah, if you want to learn that, that's going to be up on YouTube. But yeah, other than that, you know, just stay balanced.
Okay. All right, stay balanced. Say stay balanced. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.